Hey y'all. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Thank y'all for joining. When y'all come in, please like the video and share it, please. So, now I see that I had to change. Right, I see it now too, J-Ro. Why can I do this on my Get Naked page? Do you know what I'm saying? Why? Okay, Kiwana, I see you. I'm refreshing my page because now I want to share this this video to the Get Naked page. Hi, Laura. Thank you for coming in. When y'all come in, please like and share the video. Hey, Uncle Todd. We gonna get this together. Share. I'm gonna bring you on in 2 seconds, Kiwana. Share. Nope, I don't want that either. To a page. Hi, Tony. Thank you for coming in. I swear. Facebook will not let me be great. They made some changes, Kiwana. Look, because I'm trying to share the page. I'm trying to share it to the Get Naked page, and it's not even bringing up my Get Naked page as an option. It's bringing up all these other pages that I don't even manage for real anymore. So I don't know what's going on. I see it now too, Kiki. But now I'm trying to share this broadcast to the Get Naked page. Let me bring Kiwana on, y'all. Let me see how this is going to go. Invite. I swear they don't want me to be great. Don't want me to be great. I cannot sing, y'all, but I like to sing. Hey, Josh. I sent the invitation, Kiwana. Hey, Renee. Thank you for coming in. Hi, James. We have a good topic tonight. If Facebook will cooperate. So this is why you have to have other platforms as backup, because Facebook be conspiring. Hey, Dana. It still shows that I'm inviting Kiwana. Hey, Monique. Thank you for coming in. I'm not sure, Kiwana. It shows at the top of my screen that I invited you. So it's just like I'm waiting for you to respond. And it just said the connection failed. So let me see. Let me see. I'm going to add you again. Oh, I don't know. Kiwana, is your page public or private? It said that they're not getting a response from you, Kiwana. The topic is the effects of miscarriage, James. That may have something to do with it, Kiwana. I don't know. That's what J. Rose said. I've never heard that before, but maybe because it's private, it's not allowing you to. She has to make it public. Thank you, Kiki. I have to add more to them. Some of them are just placeholders, if you can see. But thank you. Hey, Courtney. I miss you, Courtney. Yes, that's the topic, James. So, Kiwana, you have to make your page public. But in the meantime, I know we do. Well, how long has it been now? Like 4 years? So, yes, Kiwana, you have to do that. But thank all of y'all for coming in. If y'all would just like and share the video, please. But this is Get Naked TV. I'm Phette Hollins. I am an author, scriptwriter, and creator of the Get Naked movement, where we share stories of healing and getting unstuck and removing the layers of baggage one story at a time. So today, we're going to talk to Kiwana Rose if we can get this together. And she's going to talk about the effects of miscarriages or miscarriage. And I created this platform because I realized a lot of women were stuck and needed to heal. Hey, I was about to say it, but hey, Jason. People getting stuck and needed to heal, and we all have stories to share. So I created this platform so that those of us who were comfortable being transparent can share our stories, because somebody needs to hear what we're going through to know that there's a way to get to the other side. And we're just going to talk about maternal health overall, because it's not really talked about. And I'm glad that Kiwana wanted to share this story with us, because like I said, I've never experienced it myself, but I can empathize with it, and we just don't talk about it enough. So I just like to talk about things, taboo topics, stuff that folks aren't talking about, so that we can bring it to the forefront and have a discussion about it. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Tyree. Hey, Ty girl. Hey. So we're still waiting on Kiwana. You trying to make your page public? Public? Yeah, I never knew that was, that had anything to do with why someone could come on, or whether or not somebody can come on. Hey, Roderick. Hey, Iris. Thank y'all for coming on. Please like and share the video. Again, if we can get this together. We always having some type of glitches with Facebook. That's why I think it's a great platform. Don't get me wrong. But they had their little nuances and glitches every single time. So, but that's what today's topic is going to be. And in the upcoming weeks, we're going to have some really good topics as well. I'm in Michigan, James. So yeah, what's going on with y'all? What is today? Thursday? So it's like Friday Eve, almost the end of the week. Today is my Friday. So I'm super excited about that. But what do y'all have going on? We can kill some time until Kiwana is able to come on. Last week, my guest canceled, so I used a different broadcasting system, and it was awesome because I was able to have like my own graphics and stuff. It was super awesome. But I can't do that when I go live from my phone. Right, everything has changed. I think you have to go into... Oh, I don't know where to go from. Are you on your phone? I know you have to go like where those 3 stripes are at the top of your phone. Hey, Laverne. Hey, Glodine. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Denise. Me, I'm on my phone because before I was not able to bring anybody on when I go live from my computer. So I didn't want to take any chances. So I'm on my phone. Do it on your phone, Kiwana. Sorry, y'all. I thank y'all for being patient, though. But Facebook be switching up some stuff. Y'all know I'm always fiddling with my doggone hair. Oh, my goodness. I still haven't finished retightening it. Oh, my God. But, yeah. But last week, I had this other system that I was working on, and I was trying it out. It was the first time I tried it. And I had these graphics and slideshows. It was so cool. But I can't do that when I'm on my phone. And I haven't learned how to do it with a guest so that I can stream through Facebook. So it's a learning process. Oh, thank you, Laverne. I got a whole basket of glasses. It's like my thing. And it's like, it's based on my mood. Let's try this again, y'all. I'm hoping I don't have to like start it over in order for it to have to do this. Okay, y'all wish me luck. Hey, Davina. But the thing is, or maybe it's because your page was private. I was going to say you should have an option too, because you can actually ask to join the broadcast as well. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully this works. If y'all just coming in, please like and share the video. This is Get Naked TV. Hey, Jennifer. Get Naked TV, and we're going to talk about maternal health today, and specifically the effects of miscarriage, because folks don't be talking about this stuff. And it still says no answer from Kiwana. I don't know how to solve it. I really don't. Hello, Barry. On the phone? Where's the button to ask to join? Because I'm not seeing an invite button. Here we go. Oh, sorry, I got excited. I saw something. Kiwana, what did you just hit? I just saw it. The camera button. It just popped on my screen saying that she wanted to join. And so I said, accept. Let's see, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. Hold on. Now it's saying clear request. I got geeked for nothing. Allow viewers to... I got geeked for no reason at all. Hold on. Now it's not even allowing it. I don't know if it's because we asked. Oh, hold on. Nope. That's not it either. It's not allowing me to even. Let's try it again. Y'all are so nice to be patient and stuff. Oh my God. I think I...
Can you see me?
And the Christ. Was that a user error or was that a user error?
It wasn't a user error. I couldn't even see the button before now.
So what happened?
The first time hi. The first time I pressed it on my iPhone, it told me I had to go change the settings.
Okay.
So the first time you saw me request it and you accepted, my iPhone sent me to change the settings. I changed the settings and came back and pressed it again. But at first, the button wasn't there at all.
Okay. I'm going to believe you because you're telling me, hey, Camila. Thank you. Yay. She's here, y'all. She's here. Okay, so we're gonna get started because that took like
Forever.
24 hours. I mean,
I'm sorry.
oh, my anxiety was going through the roof. Like, you don't understand. I'm over here getting hot flashes and about to contact Mark Zuckerberg and everything else. Like, what is this button?
Not
Okay,
Mark.
so everybody, welcome Kiwana Rose. She's here to talk about maternal health as it relates to miscarriages because we do not talk about that enough. If you're just joining, my name is Phette Hollins. I am the creator of the Get Naked movement, where we share stories of healing and getting unstuck by removing the layers of baggage, one story at a time. So we have Kiwana. We have Kiwana Rose. I know, Laverne, I am extra. I should be. You would think that I would be an actress, but instead, I write elaborate stories and stuff. I am extra. It's just fun. So we have Kiwana Rose. Everybody say welcome and hi to her. But she's going to come on and talk about a very sensitive topic to her. So I appreciate her coming on. Thank you for coming on, Kiwana.
No problem.
Y'all just coming in, please like and share the video. And we're just going to dive. We're going to dive right in. You can just give us an introduction and tell us who you are and why you decided to share your story with us today.
Okay, my name is Kiwana Rose. Like Phette said, I am a mom of 3 children, 3 very busy, active children, a writer, poet, and a business owner. I decided to tell my story of miscarriage because when I went through my miscarriage, I didn't know how to handle it. I was surprised at the feelings, emotions that I went through, especially since, and you'll find out when I tell the story, but especially since before it happened, I had no clue that I was pregnant. Didn't even think anything of it. So it sent me through kind of a whirlwind of emotion. And I didn't know where to go or who to talk to because nobody ever talks about it. And when I sat back and really thought about it, I'm like, I know a lot of women who've had miscarriages. Nobody ever talks about what happens after the miscarriage, and what's expected, especially of Black women, when we have some sort of, I'll say, reproductive trauma or reproductive health issues. That's not something we discuss a lot in our community. So I wanted to share just to give an idea that, number one, you're not alone. 2, there are ways to handle it. And 3, whatever you feel after something like that happens, whatever your maternal health issue is, you're human. So you're entitled to feel that. And quite often we don't allow ourselves as Black women to feel those things without feeling guilty on top of it.
That is so true. That is so very true. That's why when I reached out to you, or when you reached out and said that you wanted to be a part of the Get Naked movement, and this was your topic, I was excited because it's just very recently that I started to hear about this. I run into maybe 2 women over the past couple of months who talked about the trauma they experienced after having a miscarriage. And I have to be honest, like, since I've never experienced it, I never really gave it a second thought. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I've heard, about abortions and all that kind of stuff, but miscarriage, I just really don't ever hear about that. So just briefly, what was your aha moment, the moment that you realized, oh my God, nobody is talking about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that you went through it and that it was a sort of like a lonely period for you.
Right.
But what made you decide that you wanted to say, okay, we're going to have some conversation about this? And what are your steps to coming up next for this? Oh, okay.
What was that? You said,
I'm sorry. I was reading the comments.
I see it. I think my aha moment was probably in the middle of me dealing with having had one, where when I sat back and was like, what do I do now? Because like I said before, I was kind of overwhelmed with the emotions that came with it. And honestly, I'd had one before, but I was much younger and it was an entirely different experience. But even then I kind of just swallowed it down and kept going. And once I realized that's what I was doing to myself, I was like, yeah, nobody ever talks about this, and somebody should talk about this. So it was always on my mind that it was something that I either wanted to write a story about or find some way to just start discussing it, because I know that there are other women who experienced it and really want to know what to do afterwards.
Okay, so I heard you say that you wanna or that you're gonna write a story about it. We're both artistic people, so is that in your plans? Are you going to write a story? Are you going to start speaking out about it?
I am. I've already actually written a story. I think I mentioned to you before that I wanted to start writing a television script. So I've written a short story about it, and I've actually started working on a television script for a series that I have an idea for, and that is a couple of the episodes dealing with the trauma of miscarriage.
Okay. I think that'd be great. See, I love topics like this. I love talking about stuff that folks don't really want to talk about because it's like I'm a rabble rouser of sorts. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like this is important. People need people need to be checked on. I mean, I understand that you're not going around telling the world,
Right.
but okay, that's another thing. So, did you tell anybody about it once it happened?
Very few. I think maybe 6 months after it happened, I told somebody. Um,
Okay.
but not really. I didn't share it with anyone. What happened to me?
Because, that's the thing too. We operate in that space where we don't want people in our business. Not me, because I get naked all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell that to everybody. Like, since I started being more authentic and being more vulnerable, I am pretty much naked all the time. Now, I know that there has to be some type of boundaries because not everybody wants to know, want to know all your business. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't tell all of my business, like I don't. But I'm just saying certain things that I feel like that will help someone else. I'm really
Do share.
transparent about it. So people have to know that you're going through something in order to be there to, comfort and add some sort of help and solace. Hey, Asha. So those of you who are just coming on, please like and share the video. We're talking with Kiwana Rose about maternal health as it relates to the effects of miscarriage.
Um,
So,
Somebody asked the question, why so long? And then you mentioned not wanting people in your business. It wasn't even necessarily of not wanting people in my business type thing. It was, I'm a single mom of 3 children, super busy life. You know what my life is like and all the stuff that my kids are involved in. And it seems to never matter how successful I am in the raising of my children and in my career, there's always a sense of shame attached to me being a single parent, especially of 3 children. The assumption is always that I'm a welfare mom and don't know how to take care of my children and just are incredibly irresponsible. And then from family members that know different, they always have some kind of commentary about whether or not I should be reproducing anymore or whatever. So I just kind of kept it to myself. And honestly, I didn't feel like I had anybody to go to discuss it with. Um, Kind of isolated in the way that I do things because I'm so busy all the time. It's usually just me and my children. So I didn't feel like
gotcha.
I had somebody to fall back on anyway. And that's another thing that I think a lot of women, especially Black women, have to contend with while we're out here doing whatever it is that we do in our daily lives. Just because we're Black women, people attach certain stigmas to us, and it gets tiring. You don't want to deal with it all the time. So I just kept
Hello.
it to myself.
That's the whole get naked thing because it's baggage. It's
Right.
the baggage we carry, and we sometimes don't even know that we carry it because we're so used to just pushing forward and moving on, and just it's just a whole lot. So that's what get naked is removing the layers of baggage. That's exactly why I say that because you mentioned the guilt, shame, and all of that. So in essence, it had something to do with it's a combination of things, but I'm hearing you say that it has something to do with how people view you. Like you didn't want to be viewed as XYZ or you know what I
Not
mean?
even
So you
not
didn't
wanting to
it's
be
like
viewed as XYZ. It's not wanting to deal with it. I didn't want to take on somebody else's baggage and insults and whatever else it was they had to say while I was trying to process something that was traumatic. It's an extremely traumatic experience, especially the way that it happened. And I'll get into that a little bit. I was actually getting my youngest daughter ready for a cheer competition. And I thought I was starting my menstrual cycle. Kind of like, okay, this is weird, because I could have sworn I just ended my cycle, but okay. Got up, went and did what I had to do, finished getting her dressed, take her to her cheer competition, and by the time I got there, I needed to change my pad again. But in my mind, pregnancy never came across, because I didn't think I was pregnant. So I'm like, is my cycle changing because I'm getting older? I'm knocking on 40, you know, all kinds of stuff happens to your body. So I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. By the end of the day, not even by the end of the day, I'll say by 3 or 4 hours later, I had completely bled through my clothes. Like I said, I'm a single mom, so I had to figure out what to do with my children after my daughter's competition. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, do I go ahead and go to the hospital and take them with me? Or do I wait till I drop them off at school tomorrow and then go to the hospital?
Right.
But the amount of blood was it was just so much blood that I was like, no, I need to go. So I found somebody at the last minute to take them to and went to the hospital. I get to the hospital. They tell me that I'm pregnant and miscarrying. So that's a shock, right? And I'm like, no,
wow,
I'm not pregnant. And the doctor's standing there talking to me. She's like, yeah, you are. You're actually miscarrying. And I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. And she's like, yes, you are.
Wow.
So there was that whole shock. And then it's like, okay, so you're telling me in one breath I'm pregnant, and then another breath the baby didn't make it, all in the same moment. So I had to absorb that. When they ordered an ultrasound to see if I would need a DNC because they thought I had actually lost the baby. Went and had the DNC done, or not DNC, the ultrasound. Go back. The doctor confirms that I had lost the baby. No DNC needed. 15 minutes later, she comes back and says, well, you know what? That was just my result after reading it myself, but the radiologist looked at it and said, there's still a yolk sac there. There's still a viable baby there. So you are still pregnant. And I'm like,
really?
Okay. So
wow,
it was daunting and frightening. And at the time, the person that I got pregnant by was just returning from out of town. So I had a hard time getting in touch with him. I'm at the hospital by myself. The first doctor that I dealt with that was telling me I had lost the baby, she was mean and kind of brash about it and kind of acted like I shouldn't care, or she didn't expect me to care. And I know that a lot of times with Black women, especially in maternal situations, doctors act indifferent to whatever we're complaining about or saying we're having an issue with or whatever it is that we're dealing with. And that's what I got from her. So I kind of complained about that doctor, so they sent somebody else in. They sent the other person and they said, well, yeah, you are still pregnant. You have to follow up with your own doctor. Follow up with my doctor the next day. She does an exam. I'm bleeding, and she's like, I really do think you've lost this baby. We're going to order another ultrasound. Get another ultrasound. Baby's still there. I went through this for 6 days, 5 or 6 days. I had to come back every day for an ultrasound. And it was, you are pregnant, you aren't pregnant, you are pregnant, you aren't pregnant, you aren't pregnant, over and over again. So that, on top of everything else, was even more traumatic. Like, what am I supposed to be feeling?
right.
By the end of that 6-day period, it was determined that the baby had finally miscarried. And I didn't need a DNC, but the doctor wanted me to keep coming back and checking my hormone levels. So I kept coming back for the next couple of weeks to make sure my hormone levels were decreasing. And at the time, it was just get through it. Now, mind you, I'm a parent. I have 3 other children. I went to work. I dropped my children off at school and picked them up. I did all the stuff that I would normally do because, number one, I didn't have anybody to help me get through it. And 2, with us, we're expected to just keep pushing. And sometimes we expect that of ourselves, which is grossly unfair. Went through that period of time. I didn't say anything to any of my family. Most of my family lives out of state, first of all. So even if they were here, they couldn't help me. The only family that I do have, they were all dealing with their own issues. So I didn't call them and I didn't know how they would respond. So I just kind of dealt with it. Went on, miscarriage is done with the checkups. Months go by. I'm in J.C. Penney shopping, and the cashier is pregnant. And I'm trying to hold myself together. Number one, I'm angry at her for being pregnant. Can't figure out why I'm angry at her because it makes no sense, right? She has done nothing to me, but I feel kind of resentful. She's this gorgeous younger Black girl. She has a cute little belly, and I'm like, this is so not fair. I didn't want to talk to her. I didn't want her weight to
Right.
gain. I wanted to ask for somebody else to help me, but what I did instead was kind of check myself, get through it. My daughter was with me, so I didn't say anything because my daughter didn't know I had had the miscarriage either. Um, when I got home, emptied our bags, put our bags up, went in my room, closed the door, and just broke down. And at that moment,
Oh,
why am I so emotional about a baby I didn't even know I was carrying? I didn't know I was carrying the baby until I was losing the baby. I
got
didn't have anybody to go to help me deal with it. And then, like I said, on top of it, I had to keep going to work. I had to keep doing everything else. If a woman has any kind of reproductive trauma, they need to be able to take a minute and sit down and have their meltdown, whatever that looks like. They need to be able to
I
process
know.
feelings. And I didn't get a chance to do that. So what I did was I ended up calling my gynecologist back and talking to her, and she recommended a counselor for me because I knew that's what I needed. But in the meantime, in my head, I'm thinking, I know other women who have been through this. How come nobody ever told me it was this painful and this difficult, and I would have this many issues processing what had happened to me? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, nobody ever talked about it. Like, I might know the miscarriage happened,
Nobody.
but nobody ever talks about it past, oh, so-and-so had a miscarriage. I'm so sorry. And then that's the end of it.
Right. So what are you doing for yourself now since you've gone through this? Did you go talk to someone? Are you
Yeah,
talking to someone? Have you confided in someone?
I did counseling. I did counseling for as long as I needed it. And after a while, my counselor was like, I think you're okay. I will say this. It is important to have doctors and medical professionals that care about your emotional well-being. And I mentioned before that sometimes as Black women, doctors are really indifferent to our care. And sometimes it's hard to find Black medical professionals to treat you the way you want to be treated, whatever
True.
your standard of care is. So I ended up having my gynecologist, OB, is a white woman, she's Jewish, but the standard of care she gave me was different than the standard of care I got in the hospital. The hospital was kind of dismissive, like, yeah, it's no big deal, you're pregnant, you're not pregnant, whatever. But when I went to my OB and I called back and talked to her and said, this is what I'm dealing with, and I don't understand why I'm so emotional, she just was honest. She said, look, you lost a baby. Whether you knew you were pregnant when you went to the hospital or not, that was a part of you. You have
Right.
to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your emotional health. So she was happy that I reached out to her. But for a lot of us, we don't have doctors that are that responsive.
Gotcha.
And if we're finding we're in a situation where they're not responsive, we need to find another doctor. And I think sometimes we get so discouraged that we don't do that, especially with the history of Black people in medical care in this country, period.
It's funny that you bring that up because when I was going to this grief counseling group after my mom passed, the counselor, she's a Black woman, and she said that Black women, we're gonna say Black people, but Black women after a death of some sort, you know how we have the 3 days bereavement and all that good stuff. She said that since we're expected to show up and be strong and we have this sort of demeanor, it's kind of how we were raised. A lot of us were raised that way, to not show sadness, weakness, because it's frowned upon. So
Right.
we go about as if we're okay, and we take those 3 bereavement days and then go back to work. Whereas, like our white counterparts, I don't mean to make this about race, but I'm just talking in,
And just,
you know, and yeah, and white counterparts, they'll take months off. They'll find ways to take off. Whereas with us, our job is pretty much threatened. We're just, we can't take off work. Our bosses are threatening to that we're going to lose our job, because that's how it was with my mom. It's like, thankfully I had FMLA. Otherwise, I had to return in 3 days. I am not
Emotionally
of
ready.
sound mind and ready to go back to work after I lost my mother. Like, do you understand? Like, this is the person that brought me
Right. I
on
get
this
it.
earth. Like, I wouldn't be. So, as in the counselor said, as Black women, as Black people, that's what we do. We're expected to show up, and people think we're okay because we have to put on this face. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's important for us to take care of ourselves, to go seek the help that we need, to talk to somebody, because grief shows up in all forms. You know what I mean?
And stop
So,
stigmatizing it when people do decide to talk. Stop telling people to be quiet or that's enough or you should be over it or just get over it. Because
that right there.
losing a baby is not something you can just get over. And like I said, I went to the hospital, had my doctor's appointment the next morning. Doctor's appointment was like 7:30 in the morning. I went back to work after my doctor's appointment.
Girl, no.
I took my children to school, dropped them off early, went to the doctor, went to work, picked the kids up, did what they had to do for the day, cheer practice, volleyball game, went back home and kept going. So by the time I ran into that young lady who was pregnant in JCPenney, it had just compounded because I had
Right.
what I experienced.
Right. So, what is it that you want people to know that has gone through this?
Number
Like,
one,
with any last word for them?
first of all, you're not alone. You're not the only one, and that goes for reproductive health of any sort for Black women, because we die at 4 times the rate of white women when delivering. Our maternal death rates are higher than everybody else's.
Interesting. Wow.
The United States, number one, has one of the highest maternal death rates in the world of all first world countries. We have the highest. Everybody else is declining. Ours has doubled since 1987. Our numbers have doubled since 1987.
Wow.
In the Black community, it's worse. And it's not because we're genetically predisposed to losing our children or having children die immediately after we give birth to them, or we're genetically predisposed to any health conditions. A lot of it has been, with research, it's been discovered that a lot of it is connected to the stress of racism that we deal with. It doesn't matter if you're poor or wealthy. We just had the news story come out from Serena Williams about what she went through when she had her daughter. She's extremely wealthy. Yeah. She does not lack health care. She had to beg them to do what it was that she needed them to do to make sure she was okay, because she felt something different. And she has way more money than the average.
Hello.
But she's a woman of color. 9 times out of 10, if it's a white woman, they complain about feeling a certain way, they immediately get attention. We don't. We have to push. And it's not fair. So one of the things that I want other women to know, number one, is not just you. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, you process it in your own way. Don't let somebody else tell you you don't have a right to feel whatever it is you're feeling, because you do. If you need to take time off of work, take the time off of work. Now, I don't know. I think a lot of times we don't know what is available to us in situations like this where work is concerned. I could very well have taken FMLA because of the medical experience. However, like I said a few times before, I have 3 children. They had used up all my vacation time. My FMLA time is not paid if I don't have any vacation time left. And I couldn't afford to not have any paychecks coming in. And I'm not considering income, but a little bit of money out of your paychecks makes a huge difference.
Preaching to the choir. I understand.
So, but if you are experiencing depression or some kind of trauma behind having an instance like that occur in your life, take the time off. If you have to go to work because you have no way out of it, give yourself the space and time at home to process what it is you're feeling, and find somebody that you can talk to. Ask your medical professionals for support groups. Do your research on your own to try to find a support group. They are out here and they're available. I think quite often we don't know what's out here. Now, I knew I could call my doctor. I called my doctor and said, look, help me find somebody because this is not normal. I'm not used to feeling this way.
Good.
But not everybody
Okay.
realizes that that is available to them. A lot of the hospitals in your area do have support groups for this very kind of thing, but they don't advertise them to us. The hospital didn't say, you're miscarrying, here's some resources for you. Most of the white women that I know that have experienced miscarriage or infertility issues, when they go to the hospital or to the doctor, they hand them the information about support groups. We have to ask for them.
Wow.
We
And
know
many of us
that,
don't know.
right. Since
Yeah.
we know that's a barrier, I want people to start asking for what your other options are and push. You have to push back. Don't just let them roll over you until you know.
Oh my goodness. I really appreciate you coming on, Kiwana. I learned so much from this. Like, I didn't know about the statistics that you dropped. I did not know that. I did read that on your page earlier, and I was blown away by that because I had no clue. So I thank you for coming on, telling your story. I really, really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to open it up for people to ask questions, or we can go back and answer the questions that were already asked. If you are just coming on, please like and share the video. Thank y'all for coming on. Kiwana, thank you for coming on. We're here talking about the effects of miscarriage. We'll talk about maternal health, and this is the Get Naked TV. So this is what we talk about. We talk about issues that aren't commonly talked about, like taboo topics, and that's what today's topic was about. So if you all have any questions, y'all can just put them in the chat. I'm going to just say hi to a couple of y'all that came on because I didn't want to interrupt while she was talking, but normally on my regular live videos, I'm all just like, hey, how you? But I didn't want to, be rude while she was talking. So that's why I didn't speak to y'all. I come on to my lives often. So let me see who I didn't speak to. Give time for people to ask questions. Hey, Danita. Hey, Stacy. Stacy, I'm sorry to hear about your daughter having a miscarriage. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Aretha. Hey, Michelle. I think I spoke to you, Asha. Hey, Al. So one of the questions was, why did you wait so long to tell someone? I can't remember if you answered or not, but I know someone else commented and said that they imagined you would need time to process what happened before telling people. So that makes sense.
That was
Hey,
part
Cash,
of it. And then, like I
Jennifer.
said before, it was the shame attached to it and what I knew would be some people's responses to it. I just
Okay.
deal with. And then I didn't really have a whole lot of people that I felt comfortable going to talk about it. And honestly,
Okay.
to be honest, I didn't expect it to be as traumatic for me as it was because I kept thinking, I didn't even know I was carrying. So I should be able to just get through this, but that's not how that worked for me.
Gotcha. Hey, Momo. Hey, sis. Vicky, BB. Hey, chicas. I spoke to you, Jennifer. Hey, Tansy. Hey, Tazez, Sean, Lottie Dottie, Gerald. Yeah, so that's what negative. Yes, that's what negativity is. Sean, don't get over here starting. Okay, don't come over here with your
My
foolery.
uncle asked the same thing.
I like it. It gets people's attention. You know what I'm saying? Because we know how folks' mind is. You know what I'm saying? So they like, get naked. We want to see. Come on now, y'all know that's not what it is. But then it prompts you to ask. It prompts you to want to know what is get naked because it's not the obvious get naked.
Right.
Get naked is removing the layers, exposing yourself, and healing, and all that good stuff.
Right. Jennifer asked, is it from the lack of health care? That does have something to do with it. That is written into all of the research and statistics. Black women, and like I kind of mentioned, we're kind of dismissed anyway when we go to the doctor, depending on where we go and who we're seeing, especially if we're of lower income. So lack of health coverage, healthcare is an issue. That's why the Affordable Care Act tried to make prenatal care, or did make prenatal care required and free. In most instances, going to just for your regular prenatal care is covered by health insurance now, where it wasn't before. Poverty is certainly an issue. A large portion of our community is still in poverty. And when you're in those situations, it's kind of sometimes it's hard to even get to a doctor.
Hello.
If you're working in a service position where you're overworked and overpaid and probably taking the bus in a lot of instances, how do you take the time to get off of work? What are the doctor's office hours in your area? You know, most doctor's offices operate only 9 to 5, which is when people are at work in the first place.
At work.
You get off of work, everybody's closed. You can't
Somebody.
go.
Hello.
People miss out on prenatal care for that reason. And then some of it is just lack of awareness of what's out there.
Wow. This has been a great Get Naked TV show. Hey, Eric. Thank you, sis. So if no one has any other questions, I'm going to ask that if you would just share the video. And Kiwana, if you have any last words, you can say, you know, if you want people to contact you, if you want to share information about who you are. Hey, Devonna, about who you are. You know what I mean? Like anything you want to add, any last words, you can do so while we're wrapping this up if no one has any questions. Or if you don't have anything to say, that's fine too. We can just wrap it up.
Okay. Again, I'm you can reach me at Rose Bloom Management Group on Facebook and Instagram. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share my story so that other people feel comfortable and know what's out there and know that you're not by yourself.
Thank you so much, Kiwana. Thank you for coming on. Oh, thank you, Sean. Thanks to everybody who shared the video. If you haven't, please share. Again, this is Get Naked TV. We talk about stuff every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can contact me if you want to be transparent and you have something to share that you don't mind helping people heal and grow from, because our stories do not belong to us. But I do understand that it takes a lot for someone to get naked and share what they're going through. But again, someone is waiting to hear what you have to say. So thank you for coming on, Kiwana. Thank you for getting naked with us. And that wraps up this segment. And have a good night, everybody.
Bye.